Any more no dues? Everybody have a seat. All right, so tough week, right, guys? Maybe even wonder, why we're having an off haul. Others, why are we not doing more of this, today? So the bottom line is, I don't have dates yet for the memorial or the funeral, for Sergeant Pyle. His family is still working through that to identify when they'd like to set those dates kind of in motion. So I promise to you is I'll make sure I advise you when that's going to be. We do have our team POCs already kind of set up for that to support the family. So I'd ask that those of you that know who those POCs are, support them, please, because they're going through a lot of emotional turmoil and kind of burden going through that. Today, here's kind of the sequence of events, right? We're going to run through a kind of a non-standard all call. It'll be fairly quick. Got some more resources that are here to help us kind of move through, appropriately move through this grieving process. Then we're going to have a burger burn. So the reason for the burger burn, right, is I'm trying to enhance togetherness right during this time period. What we don't want to do is kind of move through this grieving process in isolation. So kind of a sense of breaking bread together for us to just build on togetherness right through this time period is what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to have a heritage huddle because I did not think it was appropriate that we do a heritage huddle. We're going to have more heritage huddles, obviously, just not this week. Okay, guys, I'm trying to, honor Sergeant Pyle appropriately and those that are closest to him. It's just not the right feel for the heritage huddle today. But that said, I want you guys to hang out to 1400, probably the earliest. That I want the flight commanders to kind of close up shop and set everyone home kind of on their weekend. Really, the reason being is just keep eyes on, have some conversations. You need to create time and create an opportunity to have those talks. Okay, and we're going to learn a little more about what that looks like today with mental health coming over. So I appreciate you guys being here. With that said, let's get started.
All right, upcoming squadron events, we have the burger burn today at 11, and we have 2 featured burgers, so make sure you check that out. Spring Fling is Saturday, April 24th, and then we have Memorial Day, May 22nd. We're also welcoming home Ms. Miriam Raskin from her deployment this Saturday, so tomorrow. Happy finish to the crews we have out on the road in undisclosed locations. Operations.
Okay, guys, I'll keep this quick on behalf of Major Fernandez. So obviously, tough week for the Muley family. I'd just like to thank all the individuals who stood up and helped their fellow brothers out. For those who noticed a TR out halfway around the world to jump on missions to replace other crew members, to even people like last night stepping in to do the late night group sim with less than 2 hours notice. So just appreciate everyone looking out for each other and taking care of one another. From an ops perspective, please keep on your beans. So if you don't know what your ITS or your go-no-goes look like and you're new, ask someone who knows, ask your peers, ask your instructors. Please stay on top of that. There's more missions coming down the pipe for this month. So if you're not green, schedulers aren't going to be using and you're just not going to be flying. So that's on you at that point. So some developments we have coming, or pipeline stuff coming down. Puckboard is right around the corner. So if you know what Puckboard is, look at your email. There's been some guidance push out via Major Fernandez and Mr. Harry. So we will be transitioning a lot of our scheduling activities to Puckboard from Ops Next. So please get on board with that. It'll make everyone's lives easier. And then in addition, on the in front of the scheduling, we have 2 mini iPads up on the desk, and that's for anyone to input their appointments into. So it's pretty seamless and easy. So please help your schedulers out with that. And that's all I have from Ops. So please enjoy your weekend.
Disaster mental
All right, good morning all. I'm Captain Keeney from the Disaster Mental Health team here with Lieutenant Orjo and Airman Bass. Thanks to Colonel Trumbull for having us out here. Just kind of want to put a face to the mental health unit and the disaster mental health team for you all. Kind of take this chance to break down that stigma a little bit. Everyone kind of deals with grief and tragedies in their own way. Just want to encourage you all to use those positive and adaptive coping skills. Use your support systems. I think we all kind of know what maybe more negative coping skills looks like, but we'll be around today to kind of help address any immediate issues you have. I do want to speak to disaster mental health services in particular that, hey, we don't document any of these meetings related to this event. You can also schedule an appointment with us at the mental health clinic if you like, come in, walk in. None of that's documented, with the caveat of if we do think, maybe more services are required, we'd be completely transparent with all of that, and walk you through that process if necessary. We have some information for you all. If you need it, we'll be around today after the meeting today. If you have any additional questions, and we just want to support you in any way that we can.
And just to let you know, if you do want to walk in and use our services, just let them know at the front that it's part of disaster mental health, so that they know for the processing, not to, get any documentation in place. And then we also have our PCBH clinic, which is more of like additional services at the Warrior Medicine Clinic, and we also have MFLAX available.
Go through tragedy, and they might not require mental health services, but we can make that process a little easier sometimes, and we just want to be here for you all. That's all I have. Thanks so much.
Happy Friday, Bruce. Welcome, Miko. Miss you. Today, we're going to talk about kintsukuroi. Anyone know what that is? Very cool. It's Japanese. Translated, if you permit me, I'm going to do a little reading. Translated golden repair. It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with lacquer and gold, silver, or platinum. Eastern cultures find beauty in asymmetry with respect to nature. Those of us in the Western world, we tend to look at symmetry as beautiful. Clean lines, pristine. This tends to apply to things that are manufactured, not natural. For the natural, there's something resonating about its use. The cracks, scuffs, and scars. It has experienced the world, endured time, and persevered according to its purpose. Philosophically, this mindset treats breakage and repair as part of the history of an object, rather than something to disguise or be embarrassed about. It embraces the flawed or imperfect. It values the aesthetics of the marks of wear from use. People are funny, and as I think about this dichotomy between the manufactured and the natural, how we view people, how we view ourselves. How many of you have cursed getting a stain or a rip in a shirt? Any sneakerheads in the house today? I know how y'all get when you scuff your shoes. We discard so many manufactured things when they get worn, cracked, or broken. But we can't do that with people. People are of the natural. We do not have clean lines. We're not symmetrical. If we were, we would be extremely boring. Life cannot be tamped down to a flat line of stability. Fate, circumstance, life compels highs and lows. Life is natural. Anyone ever bust a check ride? Fail a test? Suffer through a breakup? Whether big or small, mental or emotional, personal or professional, to live is to endure dents, cracks, scuffs, scars. And there's beauty in it. Beauty as we age, as we celebrate, as we suffer, as we endure. Now, I'm not going to point at this bowl here and tell you it's any more resilient or functional because it was broken and mended. If anything, it's likely less so. What I'll tell you is that it's seen some stuff. It's been through something. It has endured, and it is beautiful. It's had a journey. It has a story. And the gold that now runs through it is an inspiration and reminder of both fragility and strength. This is my not so subtle way of saying that we've had, have, and will continue to have breaks, traumas. The feelings that come with those are natural as well: frustration, anger, remorse, sadness, longing. I don't want to say they fade with time, because that's not really true. Rather, the frequency dampens, and it becomes part of our story, enshrined in memory. Part of the beautiful tapestry that reminds us that we've truly lived, dared pursuits that we knew might fail, fostered relationships knowing that they might end. I love that we have a culture that supports and lifts others up. If you know someone out there with their own chips, their own cracks, reach out and help them mend. If you need some mending, reach out. It takes time, and the work is never really finished. It won't take gold, but time, empathy, and understanding. So thanks for looking out for each other, not just this week, but always. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. All right. That was really well done. And Secretary Kramer and I talked a lot, right? We actually had dinner last night downtown Vacaville, just to kind of talk through not just this past week, but a lot of things. And one thing that has become apparent throughout the 3 years I've been here, right? And our opportunity to reflect last night is how strong this team is, how loving and caring this team is, how close we are, our bonds. Because we've been through a lot, right? We've been through, you know, the picture that was just previous, we've been through some breakage, right? We've been through some strain. What I know is that we're coming out together, right? We look a little different when we do come out of it together, but we do it right, okay? And the bottom line is we're all going to look a little bit different. We're all kind of a piece of that pottery. And the kind of what mends us together is our relationships, our reaching out, right? Our friendships, our caring for each other is what's going to fill the cracks and make us whole again. But it's not going to be the same, right? It can't be the same. So I'd ask you to continue to reach out, guys, okay? Continue to fill those cracks with each other, all right? It's going to happen at the flight level, right? It's the reason why I'm having you guys go back to your flights. It's the reason why I emphasized that small team and that flight. This past year, I've been in command. It's good. I didn't know this was going to happen, but what I do know is COVID had started, and there was other things that were going on with families, and that I just don't have the span of control to see everybody, right? My flight commanders, the flight leadership, the small teams and those elements do, right? But I have to communicate what right looks like at my level, that commander's intent on down. So I'd ask you to support your leadership, support each other. I'm going to walk through a few different notes here because we do at some point have to continue the mission, right, guys? We only get so much of a pause to a certain extent. The ops team has done an amazing job, and a lot of people have stepped up to fill that mission. For others, you need to step back for a second, right? Or step back for a week or two, potentially. So I want to thank you, for those folks that have stepped up. And I also want to thank those that have taken a knee, because that takes courage, right? And a unit that emphasizes readiness, right? That emphasizes credibility. And we all know that that's a perishable trait, the operation of the aircraft. So thank you for having courage to take that knee, right? And say, hey, I need a moment, I need to process this, because that takes courage, right? And so I want to thank you for that as best I can. Okay. Some of the admin pieces that I wanted to work through is one. You saw an email I shot out a couple days ago about DDoS. Now, Defense Equal Opportunity Climate Survey. We took one like 4 months ago, right? Like 4 months after I took command. Maybe 6 months ago, we took it and I debriefed it at the beginning of the year. This is a new type of DOTS that's being sent out that was activated yesterday, and it goes for 14 days. And it is directed by the Secretary of Defense, right? So every branch is taking it. It is meant to be kind of a follow-on to the extremism talk we had a couple weeks ago. It's meant to get a deep dive down to the, the battalion squadron level, across all 5 services now, to look at what the climate is of each unit, right? We all know that it's optional. I can't make you take it, okay? But in my message, I did ask, and I'm kind of trying to lean on your care for this team, that you go in there and just give a good assessment. And the reason for that is I want everyone around us and above to see how strong this team is, but also it gives me an opportunity to see our flaws, okay? Because I know there are flaws, because we're human, because this squadron's not perfect. No squadron is, right? But if I don't know, that I can't act on it. So I just ask you guys, if you have an opportunity today, next week, because it closes on the 22nd of this month, that you go in there for 15 minutes and just take it, please. But again, I can't make you. And I'm not going to ask flight commanders or flight leadership to tell me who did or didn't, because they couldn't figure it out anyhow either without asking you, but they're not. So I'm asking you as your squadron commander to take that time. The link is in the email, the code's in there. It doesn't take much effort, but I think it's important that we do it. What else? Dates are in flux, right, guys? The spring fling's coming up on the 24th. I really was conflicted this week on whether to just, kick that down the road. But this is a family-focused event. It's on a Saturday, right? Usually we do stuff throughout the week, but I want to do it on Saturday so the families can get involved. It's here on base. It's going to be free. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff that's going to be available. The intent of keeping it is, once again, to get some families together, to fill the cracks, create some bonds. Because guess what? This is the first time we've had our family together since the fall time frame. And I personally asked Colonel Simmons to let us be the kind of the first one, kick the door down, so to speak, on having a large event together. Okay. We have some time for that to occur. The only thing that's going to throw that kind of influx is if the funeral, occurs on that day, and there's going to be a decent piece of the squadron that won't be there. But I think we're going to continue and still do it. We've set a lot of things in motion for that to occur. Let's see here. Other than that, I'm kind of at a loss. So I'll go around the room. Anything we've maybe missed, just for the whole team together. Round loads.
We're doing the GoFundMe.
Thanks. Yep. Washed off my hand, my notes. So the GoFundMe site. So why GoFundMe? So those are asked. Wanted some down, but the plane tickets right and the cost of lodging to be able to participate, because the government only funds the commander and the FAR, so the Family Assistance Representative, in this case, it's Master Sergeant Cecil. That's it. Anyone else who wants to participate, and it's going to be in Oklahoma City, funeral, has to pay for it on their own dime, right? And leave. So I'm working through getting permissive TDY rights for that, potentially for those that have been closest and who want to participate in that funeral. I know the family participate that or would appreciate that. But also the GoFundMe that is on Slack is our opportunity as a squadron to contribute a little bit for those members and offset. I think we put 2,200 as kind of the goal to offset some of that cost to get those close family, close family and friends of this unit down there. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So there's 256 of us in this organization. If you guys want to kick us a little bit, a 10 spot, not even that much, right? And we're going to hit that goal, but it's going to get those close friends ability to offset that cost to get down there, because the tickets are like $600 plus, right? And we don't know exactly when the date is. So we could find out like 3 days out. So it's not cheap, but it's just less so I think about the money, more so about the caring of this team to send folks that have been closest to Sergeant Pyle down to honor him. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. There you go. Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks for that. Engineers, acting first sergeant.
I'll pass on that answer for you then.
Sorry.
I'll have something when you get in here. Yeah.
Okay. Chief pilot, superintendent, we're good. Ops, we're good. For the civilians, we're also good as well. Anyone else shops wise, stand about? Mental health, anything to add, guys? Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Okay, Ricky in the back, anything from the classroom? Nothing. Okay. Officers, hang out, just want to pass a little more admin, that's just for you guys here. After we're finished, just whenever the room cleans out, just stay here, please. And then, sure, come on up. If you got some questions.
Just want to say real quick, thank you guys. Been in the military for a long time, and this kind of culture doesn't happen easily. So you go to war with what you have. We go into something like this with the culture we already created. I can tell you it's rare. I've been in for 22 years. I've never seen this before like this. And it's also perishable. So when we say check up on your people, we mean that. It means that individual checking on turns into a relationship, and this collection of relationships turns into the culture we have. So keep that up, legitimately check on each other, ask people how they're doing, go help out with a little thing, taking night sims, all those kind of things. They make a difference, they make us who we are. The last one I'd say is this, this weekend, moderation, please. There's a lot of people deal with things in a lot of different ways. I'm just gonna ask that whatever you go into, do it in moderation. Don't go do something stupid. If something happens stupid, please call us. Don't let this be one of those weekends where you go off the reservation. We want to be here for you, and we understand stuff's going on. Call us, we will come pick you up. We're not going to take you bar hopping, but we will come and get you wherever you're at and get you safe.
Okay, make sure. Yeah, guys, so each of you know how you kind of shed some stress. You know, for me, PT, right, going for a run, I did that this morning, is very, very helpful. It's a healing tonic, you know, even if runs aren't your thing, you know, just kind of exercising and sweating out some of that emotion is helpful, but it also clears the mind. Because much like I said to our team that's working with Sergeant Powell's family is, you know, we can't mess it up, right? There's a certain amount of emotion we're working through, but we have to get right to respect that. So again, keep reaching out, guys. I'm not gonna be able to say my closing message like I normally do at the hair shuttles, to call your mom, call your dad, call each other. Reach each other, start filling those cracks, because it needs to happen now, right? But we're gonna work through it. It's gonna take time. Okay, anything else? All right, guys, I'll see you a little bit later today. Carry on.